to Let's Talk Autism with Shannon and Nancy. And now, as promised, we have joining us Doctor Kerry Magro, who just recently became a PhD, and we're going to hear all about that. Kerry is a professional speaker and oh, so much more. And we're here to talk to him about his new degree as well as his new children's book. Welcome to the show, Kerry.
Oh, so glad to be on. It's been a pleasure to be on over the years, and I can't thank you enough for having me again today.
Well, we're thrilled, and I was just saying to Kari before we went live that, Kari has been a guest on this show many times. I love it every time Kari is on the show because he's an amazing speaker and always fills us with inspiration. But we're always proud of Kari and his accomplishments and the things that he does. But yesterday you did something really, truly momentous. Kari, do you want to talk about that first?
Sure. So yesterday was my dissertation defense, and I passed. So I am officially Dr. Kerry Magro at NJCU, New Jersey State University. So it kind of blew me away, and I'm still kind of in shock. I don't believe it. Yeah. So
What is your degree in, Kerry?
So it's in educational technology leadership. So I wanted to do something on the university level in terms of teaching. And there was something that struck out to me about educational technology. So I found New Jersey State University, and I've been there for the past 3 years. And I defended my dissertation yesterday, and now I'll be walking in May, and I'm officially a doctor.
Congratulations.
That's really amazing.
Thank you.
And so you've been an amazing international speaker, and people love to hear you talk. Now with this new PhD, what's the plan here, Dr. Magro? Where are you going from here, do you think?
Well, with April being World Autism Month, I'm going to be speaking throughout the month. But once May comes and I actually graduate, I'm going to be focused on looking for a adjunct professorship at a university to continue my work as a public speaker, but also teaching young and bright minds about our community, our special needs community. So that's kind of the plan as of right now, and I'm so excited to kind of just graduate and then just get ready to look for universities in the summer.
Really remarkable.
Sounds great.
Okay, so Kari, you have got a new children's book that's coming out because in all your spare time, you had time. I honestly,
I know we're all feeling like slackers around here.
I know, totally. So you found time to write a children's book. So it's coming out. And in just a couple of days, talk to us a little bit about I Will Light It Up Blue.
So I've written a few books now, and I have always had a passion in the back of my mind to write a children's book. So about 2 years ago, I started writing I Will Light It Up Blue, which is actually based on the Global Autism Awareness Initiative, Light It Up Blue, which happens on April 2nd during World Autism Awareness Day, where people light their houses up blue and they wear blue to start a conversation about autism. And I've been participating in that initiative since it started. And I decided when I was thinking about writing a children's book that being able to go into the school systems and educate our younger children about autism in a kind of a way that would be interested to them, just in terms of this initiative that's pretty popular and many people know about, I thought it was a no-brainer. So I wrote the book, I Will Light It Up Blue, and it kind of just has already, we were #1 on an Amazon bestseller list for pre-orders. So
Wow.
It's kind of just been very amazing to see the feedback we've received so far, and to get ready for April and to get the opportunity to go into schools and read the book as well.
So the book is available. No, you go ahead, Nancy.
The focus of the book is to be proud about autism, or what is the focus in terms of I Will Light It Up Blue?
Sure. So the focus is on actually two children on the autism spectrum, with one being on the high functioning end, one being on the low functioning end, and how they come about finding out about this initiative called Light It Up Blue. And it's really meant for self-advocates to feel empowered by their autism diagnosis, and then also to advocate for themselves and self-advocate for themselves. Not to give any spoilers away, but there is a sense of empowerment once they learn about Light It Up Blue and start talking in their own schools based on this initiative about their autism diagnosis, to educate their peers and also their teachers about autism and what it means for them specifically to be on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
Wonderful. And so the book is available now for pre-order, but it officially launches on the 26th. So you mentioned that we can get it via Amazon, and that's probably the easiest way to get it, but you can also get it, it's put out by Mascot Books, so we can go to mascotbooks.com and look for I Will Light It Up Blue. And we want to encourage people, it's, I love Light It Up Blue. I know that it's sometimes, there are people who don't embrace it, and if you don't, you don't, and that's fine. Everybody's choice is everybody's choice.
Right.
But I have found that every year that we have participated in I Will Light It Up Blue, I can point to at least one conversation, if not 10, that happens on that day that would not have happened if it weren't for that blue.
Right.
That people in my neighborhood have come up to me and said, what is the deal with, why do you have Hanukkah lights on April 2nd, right? Even one year, my landlord was given a fine because they said we had Christmas lights up after the fact, because we lit them up on April 2nd, and they were like, oh, you have your Christmas lights up, and that is not allowed past, and so they gave a $50 fine to my landlord, and my landlord called me and said, what are you doing? And I said, I beg your pardon. That is part of an autism awareness initiative, and I'm happy to go before the board.
Did you get out of the fine?
They absolutely got out of the fine, and it created a conversation among everyone about why that was appropriate.
It's a great way to create a conversation.
Conflict doesn't mean that good things don't happen. Right? So I love Light It Up Blue. I love seeing the sea of blue. I love seeing people supporting our kids on that day. It makes me super happy. But what I love, Kari, about what you've done is that often the littlest kids don't know what's happening with Light It Up Blue. And your book gives them an opportunity to not only understand it, but then participate from that place of understanding.
Yeah, and that was truly important to me, because we often talk in our autism community about early intervention is the key. But when it comes to actually educating younger children about autism, it can be very challenging for some educators to really grasp the concept of just teaching them a little bit about autism. So I wanted to also give this book as an opportunity to have educators read it to their students to educate about autism. And the book is really meant, it's meant for everyone, but the age ranges that we're really going to be focused on are 3 to 10. And after speaking at a few preschools over the years, during the month of April for World Autism Month, I kind of saw this book as also another opportunity to do readings in the school to educate about autism. So really, they came from the early intervention is the key kind of message, and trying to educate others. Because if we get an early intervention for people who are non-disabled to learn a little bit more about the autism community, hopefully they'll be accepting of autism as they grow up.
Yes, and who better than the youngest generation to do that? We've already seen the inroads that Julia has made on Sesame Street, which is amazing. I love when people talk about that this generation of kids that have had Julia on Sesame Street will someday be the people who are hiring. And they will hire in a different way than people who don't have this awareness. So you're adding to the fire, Kari, which is wonderful. So again, the book is I Will Light It Up Blue. You can get it on Amazon or Mascot Books, and make sure that you do your pre-order and get it before the 2nd, which is World Autism Awareness Day. Now, Kari, we also have to talk about the fact that one of the things I love about you is that you are such a great role model, and you have managed throughout your time as an adult to figure out already at such a young age how to give back. And you felt that it was important enough that you started an organization and that you do scholarships. So talk about KFM and your scholarships. Because it's just, we're only like 2 years away and my son's going to be applying for one of those.
So KFM Making a Difference started with the idea of giving scholarships for students with autism to go to college. That was actually one of our very, very first initiatives that we did. So we started out just giving one scholarship out a year. And now we give out a scholarship every spring, every summer, and every fall. So it's been amazing to kind of see how many people in our community have also, after we got our 501c3 nonprofit status, giving to our nonprofit to fund our scholarship fund. So now we've given over 60 scholarships in the past 7 years. And we also host inclusion events in our communities to get our special needs community engaged. Because one of the worst things I see as a coach and mentor to many kids and also adults on the autism spectrum is that sometimes they're in the house for 8 hours every weekend watching television and really not engaged with the world. And if we give them more opportunities, that's kind of become a big part of KFM's mission as well. So we've been around since 2011, and I hope we can continue our work for many years to come.
So this scholarship is designed to send kids with autism to college.
Correct, yes. So it's currently, our spring application is actually available currently, and the deadline for that scholarship is April 26th. And it's open to high school seniors who are about to graduate, along with current college students with no geographic restrictions. So we've given scholarships to people in Canada before and internationally as well as along in the United States.
Okay, and to find out about that, you can go to kfmmakingadifference.org/scholarship programs for adults with autism.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know recently I didn't realize Danny Bowman had posted that she was a recipient of one of your scholarships.
I love Danny.
Don't we all love Danny? And what I love about that is that Danny not only used that to go to college, but Danny is already training other people how to do animation. So look at how far your scholarship dollars are going, Kari. That's amazing. So, what we haven't said, and I feel sort of ridiculous cycling back to it, but in case somebody doesn't know your story, Kari, tell them a little bit about, I just want to say that you, on your own right, without having said your story, are an impressive young man, but then add to it that you were once diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum, correct?
Yes, I was diagnosed with PDD-NOS at the age of 4, and I was actually completely nonverbal until I was about 2.5 years old. Didn't say my first complete sentence until I was 7, and had a lot of challenges growing up. Experts and professionals said that I was on the severe end of the autism spectrum, and it was at a time where the numbers of autism were about 1 in every 1,000 being diagnosed in the United States, and now it's 1 in 59. And my parents became my greatest champions and advocates, and through many years of therapy, almost over 15 years of therapy, I was able to overcome a lot of my obstacles and pursue a post-secondary education, but also pursue the opportunity for full-time employment, now self-employment today. And I see a lot of the dreams that I've kind of pushed myself for many years come true, although I have many, many more to come.
What do you consider, Kari, the greatest key to your success?
The greatest key is, I think, being able to self-advocate for myself. I realized once I got into college that the safety net of having an child study team and an individual education plan were not going to be there for me once I reached adulthood. I think that, so definitely being able to self-advocate and realize that I need to stick up for myself and stand up for myself was very, very crucial. And then just really therapy in particular, especially focused on the arts. Because one thing I don't see enough in the school systems, especially in schools we speak in, K through 12, are strong art programs, both in music and in theater. And those were the two therapies that tremendously helped me from my sensory challenges to also my public speaking today. So those will probably be the two things.
Wow, impressive. Well, and Kari, you mentioned that you have other books as well. What website should we direct people to go to learn more about you and about your many accomplishments and get the wide breadth of all the books that you've written?
Absolutely. So my website is KarryMagro.com. And I also have a Facebook fan page called The Special Community, where we highlight people impacted by diagnosis, where I share all my book information there as well. And that's available at facebook.com/thespecialcommunity.
Kari, you are a star.
Thank you, Kari. And we wish you the best of luck with this new book.
And congratulations,
yes,
Dr.
congratulations.
Magro. I'm so happy for your parents. Like, they must be bursting with pride.
They are very, very happy. They actually sat in the green room while I was giving my defense the other day, and we were just all very, very thrilled. Got to hang out with the entire family yesterday, and we're still in shock. But we're very, very happy.
There's a doctor in the family now. Can't you just hear, it's Dr. Magro. I absolutely love it. Kari, thank you so much for all that you do and being such an inspiration. We love you.
I love you too, and thanks for having me, and congratulations for all the amazing work over the years. Just, Shannon, you just mentioning how long we've been doing these interviews. It's great to see how much autism-live has really meant to our community.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll be in touch.
Yes, definitely. Talk soon.
All right, take
bye-bye.
Care. Bye-bye. Such an amazing young man.
Very exciting.
And so wonderful. And I feel so privileged that we've been able to watch him. The first time that we interviewed him, and he was just graduating from college, and he's so well spoken, and it was just, oh my gosh, this young man, he's just going to be on fire. But there's no moss growing underneath his feet. He just
definitely keeps not. He keeps on going.
And then when he decided and announced that he was going to go get a PhD, and I was like, oh my goodness, look at him, and here we are. We blink. I mean, a lot of work for him.
Right.
But we blink, and
there he is.
Dr. Magro. It just makes me very excited. All right, we've got a bunch of
take a break? We've got some in the news.
We do need to take a break, and then we're going to come back and talk about mostly good things. So stick with us.
Okay.